Welcome back. Today we join a true craftsman as he navigates a remote mountain forest, constructing a permanent dugout shelter with nothing but hand tools and patience. The dense canopy overhead limits daylight, while the uneven terrain restricts access to heavy machinery. Building here requires adapting to the landscape. Finding the right location dictates the success of any off-grid structure. A suitable site must offer natural drainage to prevent flooding during heavy rains. Navigating through this dense brush reveals the hidden contours of the mountain. Natural depressions can trap cold air, so selecting a slight elevation ensures better thermal regulation. Dense undergrowth acts as a natural barrier against harsh winds, but it also obscures potential hazards. Pushing through this thicket requires careful footing, as deadfall and loose rock can easily cause injury. The isolation of this terrain is its greatest defense. A twisted ankle here means abandoning the project. The forest floor provides an inventory of available timber and natural insulation. Fallen hardwood limbs offer excellent structural integrity without the need for immediate felling. Utilizing a massive fallen tree, a primary load-bearing ridgepole, eliminates the hardest labor of raising a main beam. This strategy uses the forest's own mass against the elements. Silence in this environment is profound, broken only by the wind and occasional wildlife. The atmospheric pressure drops as the afternoon progresses, signaling a narrow window for foundational work. Every movement must be calculated to conserve calories. Bridging a muddy incline is the first necessary step to establish safe access. A heavy log span distributes weight evenly across the soft soil. This structural platform prevents boots from sinking into the mud, maintaining traction while carrying heavy loads. Stabilizing the approach ensures the main build site remains accessible, even if heavy rain turns the surrounding earth into a slick hazard. Shortly after, framing the primary roof deck begins over a small establishing fire. Using a crosscut, saw to process green branches ensures clean, flat ends that will rest flush against the main ridgepole. These horizontal members must be spaced tightly enough to bear the weight of natural debris. Setting vertical load-bearing posts requires precise length adjustments. An axe quickly removes excess material, allowing the support columns to wedge tightly under the fallen tree. Friction and gravity hold the initial frame together, while a dedicated post transfers the immense overhead weight directly into the solid earth. Checking the fire pit periodically keeps the core body temperature up. Securing the branch panel walls with natural fiber rope binds the flexible wood into a rigid windbreak. Lashing techniques provide flexibility, allowing the timber to expand and contract with temperature shifts. Once the perimeter is closed, excavating the earthen floor begins. Removing the top layer of loose topsoil reveals a compacted clay base. This lowered floor profile effectively drops the ceiling height relative to the user, trapping warm air lower in the shelter. With the frame established, weatherproofing the exterior is critical. Deep forest moss acts as a highly efficient, natural expanding foam. Tucking thick handfuls of damp moss into the interstitial spaces between the vertical logs stops wind penetration entirely. As the moss dries, it expands slightly, locking itself securely into the rough bark. This ancient insulation technique prevents drafts from stripping away the interior heat. The junction between the vertical wall and the stacked log entrance requires heavy packing. Forcing the root mass of the moss directly into these wider structural gaps creates a monolithic seal against the damp night air. The continuous organic layer blends the timber frame seamlessly back into the forest floor. The camouflage is complete. Inside the completed earthen dugout, the environment shifts immediately. Lighting thick wax candles provides steady illumination, reflecting warmly off the rough timber walls. The enclosed space instantly captures the radiant heat from the stone-lined fire pit. Organizing a clean, flat surface on a heavy tree stump establishes a hygienic workstation, a necessity for preparing a hot meal after intense exertion. Processing fresh ingredients in the field requires strict cross-contamination awareness. Dicing white onions and crisp green apples directly over a metal pan keeps the flavors contained. Mixing the sweet acidic fruit with raw meat acts as a natural tenderizer. Sealing the entire pan tightly with aluminum foil transforms it into a miniature pressure vessel. This method traps steam, accelerating the cooking time. Placing the sealed package directly into a mature bed of hardwood coals provides a steady, even cooking temperature. The thick foil barrier protects the food from ash, while transferring the intense thermal energy straight into the meal. While the food slowly roasts, finishing the living space adds essential comfort. Pressing fresh, live moss onto a bare log instantly creates a soft, insulated seating surface. The spongy cellular structure prevents the cold, dense wood from leaching body heat away. A comfortable rest station is a vital component of long-term endurance. Pulling the pan from the embers reveals a perfectly steamed, savory stew. The intense heat of the hardwood coals has broken down the apples and onions into a rich glaze over the tender meat. Consuming a calorie-dense meal replenishes exhausted glycogen stores, ensuring the body can generate enough internal heat through the long night. In the end, structure, landscape, and daily routine operate as one system. This dugout is a place that produces, protects, and sustains itself. Extinguishing the flame marks the completion of a hard day's labor.